Information overload is keeping you broke, and someone is profiting from your confusion. So, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Brandy, and I'm here with my co host, Cari. And today we're diving into something that I think every single person who has ever tried to build a business online has felt that gut punch, overwhelming feeling of not knowing where to start or what to do next. Cari, before we even get into this, can you just relate to this for just a second?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Absolutely, I can. And for those of you who are watching, maybe you're watching on YouTube or somewhere on social media, say hello, join in on the conversation. If you're watching, let us know where you're watching from. And if you're watching the replay, give us a hashtag replay in the comments. But I mean, if I'm being completely honest, when I first started trying to figure out this whole online business thing, I literally had like 17 tabs open, 3 different courses I hadn't finished, had a notebook full of notes and full of ideas, and $0 to show for any of it. Right? Like I was busy being busy and I thought, "Oh, I'm growing my business." But I wasn't actually moving forward. And what to make matters even worse, like when I think about my headspace and my mindset at the time, I thought something was wrong with me. And that's the reason I didn't have any money to show for all the work.
Yes. And that right there is exactly why we needed to talk about this today, because so many people are sitting in that exact spot right now, overwhelmed, confused, maybe even a little embarrassed that they haven't figured it out yet. And we want you to know that you are not alone. And more importantly, there is a way through it. Okay. So, what information overload actually feels like? So, let's get started by just naming what's actually really happening. Because I think when we can identify it, it loses some of its power. Information overload is real, and it is one of the sneakiest things that stops people from ever actually building the business they dream about. You go online looking for answers, and instead of finding a clear path, you find 1,000 different options, right? 1,000 different opinions, 1,000 different strategies, and everybody is telling you theirs is the only one that works. Not to mention, they all kind of contradict each other, if we're being honest.
Yeah, they do. And you know what? The internet does not make it easy, because you hop on YouTube to learn one thing, and 2 hours later, you've watched videos about email marketing, Facebook content, affiliate marketing, network marketing, drop shipping, and somehow you ended up watching a video about someone's morning routine. And now you're thinking, maybe the secret is waking up at 5 a.m. Like, none of that was the plan to begin with, right?
Yeah, and that's the
No wonder
truth.
you're so freaking confused.
No wonders nobody knows what they're doing, right? So the algorithm is not your friend when you're in research mode. That is for sure. But in all seriousness, what happens is people get into this cycle where they consume, and they keep consuming, and they never actually create or implement. And consumption without action just leads to more confusion. It's like trying to fill a bucket that has a hole in the bottom.
I have this analogy that I use in a lot of our workshops, where I'm like, if we became rich by reading books or just by researching, we'd never leave the library.
I would definitely
Right?
be there.
And it's such a good analogy. And what's really happening underneath all of that, like, consuming of content, is that people are searching for certainty. Like, they want someone just tell them the thing that they need to do and the one thing that will work. And because no one is giving them a clear, simple answer, they just keep looking and they keep searching and they keep buying the next course, downloading the next freebie, joining the next Facebook group, like hoping that this one will be like the magic answer.
Yeah, and that
Right?
brings us to the other side of this coin, okay, which is decision paralysis, which is the real culprit here. And this one is sneaky because it actually looks like you're being smart and thorough. It looks like you're doing your research, but what's really happening is that you are so afraid of making the wrong choice that you make no choice at all. And no choice is still a choice. It's just a choice to stay stuck.
And decision paralysis, it is so real. Like, I've experienced it in my own life. And I think for a lot of women, especially, I mean, I know our audience is largely women.
Mhm.
We've been conditioned to, like, get it right. Like, you can't mess up.
Right.
Don't waste money or you're going to look foolish. So we overthink every single step. Should I start a blog? Or maybe I should do a podcast. Should I be on Instagram? Well, I see so and so's over here crushing it on TikTok. Should I do affiliate marketing or should I create my own product? And while we're sitting there trying to figure out the perfect answer, someone else who was just as confused as us 6 months ago is out there making money because they just picked something. They made a decision and got started.
And that's the truth right there. Done is better than perfect, and started is better than planned. I have said that so many times, and I will keep saying it because people need to hear it. The clarity doesn't come before you start, it comes because you start. You learn by
Mhm.
doing, you figure out what works and what doesn't by actually being in the game, not by watching from the sidelines.
Yeah, and here's another thing about decision paralysis that I don't think people really talk about. It's exhausting. Like, it is so mentally and emotionally draining. Like, when you're constantly in your head going back and forth, second guessing yourself, you are burning through energy that could be going toward actually building something and actually building something real. And so by the time you finally sit down to work, you're depleted, right? And then nothing gets done, and then you feel bad about yourself, and it's just like this vicious cycle that continues.
Yeah, and let's talk about why this happens and why it's not your fault. Okay, so I want to take a minute here and just speak to the person who's listening to this and feeling a little called out right now, because that could be the case. First of all, good. That means this is for you. But second of all, I want you to hear this clearly. This is not a you problem. This is a systems problem. The online business world is not set up to make things simple and clear. It is set up to sell you the next thing.
Preach it, sister. Preach it, right? Because the business model of a lot of online gurus is to keep you confused enough to need them, right?
Mhm.
Like, figured it all out, you wouldn't need their next course or their next coaching program or their next mastermind. And so there is actually a financial incentive for some people to keep the information complicated and to keep it overwhelming. And I'm not saying everyone is doing this intentionally, right? Like,
Yeah.
but the environment itself creates confusion.
Yeah, and on top of that, most of us were never taught how to build a business. We were taught how to be good
Mhm.
employees. We go to school, we get good
Yeah.
grades, get a job, work hard, and maybe someday get a raise or promotion. And guess what has to happen through all that whole process? We have to raise our hand and ask for permission. Okay. Entrepreneurship is a completely different skill set and a completely different mindset. And most people are trying to figure it out with no roadmap and no one in their corner who's actually done it.
Yeah, and which is why community matters so much. I really feel like the community that you land on and that you stick with is what matters.
Mhm.
Like, this is why podcasts like this matter. It's why finding people who are just a few steps ahead of you and are willing to share what actually worked, like not just the highlight reel, but the real stuff. It's so incredibly valuable because you don't have to figure it all out alone.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get practical because we are solution people over here. So if you are in that place of overwhelm and you don't know where to start, here's the first thing I want you to do. Number one, stop consuming and start with one question. What is the one thing I want to build? Okay. Not the how, not what tools, not what platform, just what do I want? And there's a saying that's out there. It's called the coffee theory. You walk into a coffee store, let's say, right?
Mhm.
And you go up to the counter and the barista comes and she says, "What can I get for you?" right? And you say, "I don't know, I just don't want coffee." Is that going to actually get you what you want? Right?
No.
So you have to
No.
know what you want. Do you want more time freedom? Do you want to replace your income? Do you want to build something you're passionate about? Start with the vision, not the strategy, not the how, not the tools, not the who's. What do you want?
Yes, yes, and, if you come from, like, network marketing, you've probably heard the term "your why." It has to make you cry or whatever. I don't necessarily jive with the whole why. However, what I do jive with is, like your to your point, what's that vision?
Mhm.
What are you holding on to? What about your purpose? Like, what's that purpose in wanting to move forward? Because when you know your why and then your what, the how becomes so much easier to figure out. And the second thing I'd add is just pick one strategy. right? Just pick one and commit to it for at least like 90 days. Not just one, not 7, not 3 days into it, "Oh, this isn't working, so I gotta find another one." Because here's the thing, every strategy probably works.
Mhm.
Like, every strategy that you've come across, you've got a guru over here, you've got a guru over here, you've got a guru they what they teach probably works. But if you're jumping from one to the next to the next to the next, you're never gonna build anything big, right? Like affiliate marketing works, content
Mhm.
marketing works, email marketing works, but none of them work if you quit after 2 weeks because you're not seeing the results yet.
Yeah. And 90 days is such a good benchmark. We actually teach a year because we feel like it, gets people in the groove of stuff and we want to
Yeah.
minimize that jumping. But that's really when you start to see seeds that you've been planting begin to sprout. Most people quit at day, I don't know, 30 or day 45, right
Yeah.
before things start to click. And then they move on. And listen, we see this in our students day in and day out. We have some students that come in and 2 weeks in, they're getting results. We have some students that come in and it takes about 6 months. Other students, takes a year.
Mhm.
Some are 2 years, some are three, some are, 90 days. It's There is no way that we can tell how long it's going to take, but they move on. And then the next thing, they restart the clock and they never actually get to the payoff. They just continue to restart, 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 right? And that's where they get stuck in that drudgery cycle. They're like, what
Yeah.
is wrong with me? Well, that's the problem is you keep jumping from strategy to strategy. So commit to 90 days, show up consistently, and then evaluate.
Oh, so good. And the third thing, and I feel like this is a big one, is to get around people who are doing what you want to do. Like your environment shapes your beliefs and shows you what's possible. And if everyone around you thinks online business is a scam or a pipe dream, right? You probably have some people in your life that are thinking, "Oh, you're going to go work your business," right? It's going to seep into how you think and how you show up. But if you surround yourself with people who are building real businesses online, who are making real money, who are living the life you want to, which is a huge one,
Mhm.
that becomes your new normal. And what feels normal, you actually do.
I love that so much. Okay, let's wrap this up because I could honestly talk about this all day long.
Mhm.
If you're in the overwhelm right now, I just want you to take a deep breath. Okay, you're not behind, you're not broken. You are just at the beginning of figuring something out that most people never even have the courage to try. So give yourself some grace, but pick one thing and take one step forward today. Just one.
Yes, and if this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. And because I guarantee you know at least one person who's sitting in that overwhelm right now, and this might be exactly what they need. So feel free to leave us a review, come find us on social media, smash the follow button and let us know what was your biggest takeaway from today.
And we appreciate you so much for spending this time with us. Until next time, keep showing up, keep believing in yourself, and remember the life you want is on the other side of action that you've been putting
Mhm.
off. So if you need help with this, grab the link below. It'll be in the show notes. We'll break it down more for you, and we'll see you on the next episode.